Can a complete noob, like me, beat Pokemon Radical Red? Let's see. I went to Oak and chose Mudkip, then proceeded to smash my rival with Bulbasaur. While doing the delivery to get the Pokédex, I learned I could freely change natures in the Pokemon Center, so I chose Adamant for Mudkip, and after speaking to Oak and Green's sister, I was finally free. I reached Viridian City, and found a mini-boss in one of the houses. I had to defeat 6 Shedinjas with only 3 Pokemon from a specific pool. It took me 6 tries, but eventually I made it, thanks to Focus Sash and Stealth Rock Rough Skin combo, and got rewarded with a very handful item I could use to heal my Pokemon outside Poke Centers. After that, I accidentally run into my rival, who completely fisted me in battle. Ouch. To boost my pride, I decided to catch a bunch of new Pokemon and go smash every trainer in the woods. That's when I ran into Brendan from Hoenn, who challenged me and gave me a very useful XP share. I kept sweeping the trainers, got into Pewter City, and found Faulkner from Johto, ready to challenge me with his team. This was a tough one. I needed a lot of training and new Pokemon, but eventually I took him down. His Emolga was a pain in the ass. Then it was time for Brock, for which I needed even more Pokemons and training. He had an Alolan Geodude with Spark, a Vulpix with super effective secret power, Onix and Archon. I forgot to tell you that the ROM imposes a level cap of 15 before the first gym, so that the player cannot overlevel to sweep through the game. After many tries and about 20 minutes of team building and leveling, I managed to beat him and conquer my first badge after 5 hours 16 minutes in-game time. While heading for the mountain, I dumped into a strange thing with a Gigamax raid boss Nidoran inside, dropping interesting loot. Inside the mountain it was an easy run except for a few whiteouts. This until I met Super Nerd Miguel, for which I had to sweat a bit and required many tries. Few steps after, it was time for round 2, versus the Rocket Admin Archer, which happened to be way easier. After these trainers, all the road was downhill towards Cerulean City. Here I meet another move puzzler. It was again a 3v6 battle, this time way tougher. I opened with Baneri, used Fake Out to trigger Sturdy from Aaron, and one-shot him with Drain Punch. Switched to Phanpy, immune to his next attack, tanked with Focus Sash and killed with Earthquake. Sacrificed Phanpy and swept with Fletchling, from which I had to take Life Orb and give Muscle Band to keep him alive. Then switched to Baneri, healed Fletchling thanks to Heal Wish, and won the battle by Brave Birding, surviving 1 HP. Easy. This only took 40 minutes of my priceless time, and unlocked an infinite move relearner. Heading for the Nugget Bridge, I successfully annihilated my rival, swept through the trainers, took part in some rides, and after helping Bill gain his human form back, I eventually faced Bugsy, second gym leader from Johto. I needed 1 hour and a half to figure the best team out, and train it to the level cap of 27. After many evolutions I had a Houndoom, a Gyarados, a Swellow and a Haunter, but I tried at least 10 other different Pokemons before ending up with this party. The real MVP of the battle was Houndoom, rolling a crucial crit on Scizor, which made things way easier. This was for sure the hardest battle up to this point. Then it was time for Misty, a bit easier than the last battle but still a fun mind game. She always opens with Frogadier, which I learned can be easily killed by my Raichu, who carried the whole team with Thunder Wave. Gyarados had the duty to kill Starmie, the only who could tank his Psyshock and deal enough damage, while Lantern and Floatzel were just a matter of good switches and sacrifices. Eventually I managed to get my second badge. After 15 hours in-game time I started my run. So, I made my way through all the trainers to reach Vermilion City, and boarded on the SS Anne. I expected to find Green at the end of the route, instead I had to face Brendan, which took me some tries to defeat. There was not much to think about in this battle. It was a chaotic fight from which I came out on top. But I'm afraid it's gonna be really hard once these guys start catching more Pokemons. 6v4 battles are not so hard. I got cut and found a new Johto gym leader, Whitney, which was actually quite tricky. She opens with Wigglytuff, who always puts me asleep on first round. A combo of Seed Bomb plus Aqua Tail takes her down. Then I sacrifice my Gyarados to Drampa. The Ice Fang damage is crucial for Axew to kill him with Dragon Claw. I knew Axew would survive Psyshock with few HP, so I use my turn to deal important damage on the enemy and take him down in the following turn. Then it's time for Raichu to use as many Thunder Waves he can, and deal damage. Thanks to his team, Marshtomp can eventually clean up the enemies, and win the fight. It took me hours to figure out a way of winning this battle, but right after that, I was ready for Lieutenant Surge, the third gym leader. This was a real resistance war, a game of switches which ended up in brute force eventually. His Raichu was my toughest opponent. He kept stacking nasty plot to the point he became unstoppable. Luckily in this battle he switched him in at the wrong time, and my dear Camerupt did his job greatly, barely killing him with Hearth Power, securing me the third badge of the game. So I made my way through the cave and reached Lavender Town. Thanks to the boosted lucky eggs I got rewarded with by the Johto gym leaders, training became a lot faster. In the town, I found the EV trainer and the 4th Johto gym leader, which I challenged after some extra farming. The more I face these bosses, the more I appreciate their trickiness. They are always a fun puzzle to solve. It took me 1 hour this time. He opens with Mimikyu, which boosts its stats twice in a row, so I can kill him with Curse plus Metal Claw, surviving. I immediately sub in Camerupt, who can barely take its 2 attacks, and one-shot him, thanks to the item I gave him. Then I switched to Pangoro, who has the only job to kill Dusknoir, along with Raichu. I changed Pokemon thanks to Volt Switch, and sub in Haxorus. He can Dragon Dance first turn and outspeed Zoroark and Weavile. Extreme Speed from Raichu finishes the job. Mega Gengar was his last Pokemon. I decide to paralyze him and brute force his death with my remaining Pokemons, winning another important battle. At this point of the game I had a pretty solid pool of Pokemons to choose from, and I kept catching new ones throughout the whole run. I reached Celadon City, and found some shard collectors in a building. They gave me eggs and fossils from which I got a Tepig and an Amora. In the same building I met a shady man, who could help me maxing my Pokemon IVs, while making me poor. Also, during my visit to the shopping center, I bought a link cable for my Pokemons who needed trait evolution. So I finally got my Gengar. I then faced Erica, who was not hard at all. After a few tries, I knew how to lead the dances. Noivern could easily one-shoot her Rillaboom, then I had to sacrifice my horse to bait Explosion from Electrode, use Raichu to paralyze as many opponents as he could, while the rest of the team killed them. Mega Venusaur was a tough one, and many of my Pokemons died to kill him. She had only Meganium left. Thanks to Gengar's curse he finally fainted, winning the battle with 3 HP from Haxorus. Easy clap. The Rocket Hideout had no differences from the original game, except for the boss, Giovanni, who required me only 3 tries to defeat. The most important thing in this battle was speed. Every Pokemon of his, just one-shot mine, so, thanks to Extreme Speed from Raichu, Volt Switch and Thunder Wave, I was able to kill them before they could kill me. It sounds stupid but it worked. Anyway, I was ready for the tower in Lavender Town. In the Poke Center, a scientist gave me an egg, which contained an original variant of Blitzel. Electric Ice type. Really appreciated. I beat the trainers in the tower without any problem, until I faced the real challenge, Marowak, which I was totally unprepared for, but still wanted to kill without extra training. I needed 1 Muddy Water, some U-turns to deal little but very important damage, some sacrifices and a lucky crit to finish him off. After getting the Poké Flute, I was ready for Saffron City. So I went to the fighting dojo, and the 5th Johto gym leader was there for me. I had to farm a little bit before being able to take him down. First, I kill Hitmontop with Destiny Bond. Then Raichu is able to paralyze with his ability and Volt Switch to Subin Rapidash, which takes down Poliwrath, Sneasler, Breloom, Lucario and barely manages to kill Mega Gallade, the true MVP. Anyway, I got rewarded with a Clobbopus and immediately headed for the Sylph Tower. As for the Rocket Hideout, the dungeon was pretty much the same as the original game, except for the boss battles. First there was Green. I didn't really have a strategy for this battle. It just required good type matchups and enough bulkiness. In the end he didn't stand a chance. Instead, the following one was way more serious. I had to team up with Brendan in a 2v2 battle, and choose 3 Pokemons from my party. After about half an hour of tries, I found the right team. I took out Gothitelle with Destiny Bond, sacrificing my Gengar on the very first round. One-shot Incineroar with Swampert, and sending my allied Masquerain to the afterlife, with Earthquake, while dealing important damage and almost killing the enemy. At this point of the battle Swampert becomes useless, so his job is just peeling for the Sceptile, tanking as long as he can. Now is time for Camerupt. He is very resistant to all opponents' attacks, and with his ground-type moves, he manages to win the match. And eventually, Giovanni came. As for Green, I didn't really need a strategy to beat him. I also made some big mistakes during the battle, like letting half of my team suicide for no reason. But in the end, I was just stronger than him. So I got my Master Ball, and challenged Sabrina, the 5th gym leader. Before entering the gym, a lady gave me a second gift from the Sylph president, a Mega Ring for Mega Evolutions, and informed me the gym leaders were willing to rematch me after their loss. Really nice lady. This battle took me 1 hour to beat. Maybe the hardest challenge yet. A combo of Shadow Claw plus Nightshade takes out Hatterene. I used Destiny Bond on Trevenant to kill Crawdaunt, while killing Indeedee with Honchkrow. It was a 3-for-1 in my favor. Now the hard stuff. Ursaluna always uses Protect on first round, and uses Facade plus Flame Orb in the following, so I focus my attention on Porygon too. I knew the bird was basically a dead man walking, so I let him die and sub in Grapploct, who kills Ursaluna. Her ace was Mega Gardevoir, able to one-shot every one of my Pokemons with Hyper Voice. I caught an Electrode with the ability Soundproof to not get hit by that move, and gave Focus Sash to Haxorus. So, my 1 HP Haxorus was able to win the fight with Iron Tail, securing my 5th badge. I went for some backtracking, got a Gengarite, some moves I missed along the way, and a special Pikachu costumes for some shards. On the way for Fuchsia City, I found some of the strongest, common trainers I had seen, that took me a lot of farming in order to beat. Once in the city, I visited the Safari Zone, which had Brendan waiting for me. Rapidash killed his Metagross, Trevenant his Exploud, and Gengar, by Mega Evolving, his Medicham and Crawdaunt. Then the rest of the team handled his Gardevoir and Sceptile, winning the match and obtaining the move Rock Smash from Brendan. Inside the Safari Zone, I got Surf and the Gold Teeth for strength. It was time for Koga. As for every easy battle I face, I make way too many mistakes by not using my brain. I kill Swellow and switch in Noivern, who dies immediately. Sorry man. Camerupt almost kills Drapion. Raichu takes down Greninja and dies to Dragapult. My Mega Gengar is able to kill Excelgor, and since he is the only win condition, I decide to sacrifice some Pokémons to bait Dragapult kill himself with what I assume is a life orb. Then, Gardevoir and Gengar proceeded doing their job, obtaining the 6th badge. In Fuchsia City, I found a new puzzler. He asked me to guess the Pokémon the cry corresponds to. And since there's no way any human being can guess that, I looked up on Google for the solution. I hope you'll forgive me. Anyway, I got the right answers and unlocked the egg move tutor. Nice. At this point of the run I wanted my team to be stronger. First, I visited the IV's man and maxed my Noivern, so I could show it to Sabrina and get a Gardevoirite. Then I went to the casino to buy a Beldum for 100k and get a Metagross. I decide to EV train most of my Pokémons in Lavender Town, for the price of 2k for 18 EV of the stat I desire. I spent a lot of time and money to grind, and that's the result. In the Seafoam Islands I found Price, 7th gym leader from Johto, ready to battle me. I take down Vanillux with Rapidash and Dugong with Pangoro. Swampert takes down Weavile and Rapidash manages to sweep the rest of his team. Really easy. The prizes for this battle were a choice scarf and a Glalatite. Inside the dungeon, I found Keldeo and Articuno. Even though I didn't have many Pokeballs with me, I still decided to give them a try, and thanks to my 5 Dusk Balls, also known as Divine Balls, I got both of them. Since I had fun getting legendaries, I went for Zapdos inside the power plant, and caught it with a Great Ball. I arrived in the Cinnabar Island and challenged Jasmine, 6th Johto gym leader, inside the fossil laboratory. I bait Bronzong Explosion with Gengar, kill Scizor with Charizard, Melmetal with Swampert, and Escadrille, Magnezone and Aggron with Rapidash. Another simple battle. I meet May from Hoenn outside the mansion. Time for another fight. From this battle we can learn 2 things. First, when the battle is not particularly hard, most of my Pokémons end up dying for no reason. And second, Destiny Bond is the strongest move ever created, especially in a hack ROM like this. For those who aren't familiar with the move, when using Destiny Bond, if your opponent kills you with the move used, he dies as well. You'll see me win battles with this move very often in the future. It might be lame but I guess I'm not going to prison for that. I found the gym key, beat the trainers, and I was ready for Blaine. I open with Swampert and kill Torkoal in 2 rounds, while he is able to set up the Stealth Rock. I switch in Noivern and kill Exeggutor, and then Cinderace without losing HP, since I chose to fly when he used Sucker Punch. Swampert comes in again and kills Typhlosion. I paralyze Sunflora, kill Charizard with Destiny Bond, and finish the job with Haxorus. I was on my way to the 8th gym, when I got interrupted by Brendan. He brings me to the Cerulean Cave to stop the Team Rocket from catching Mewtwo and conquer the world. And it turns out the cave was a great spot for farming, so I spent some time there. This until I found, what in my opinion is, the most difficult battle of the main story. Alongside the Pokemon League champion, you have to challenge 2 Team Rocket admins in a row, without being able to heal your Pokemons between the battles. Here's how it went. I fake out first round and switch to Noivern, who is immune to the earthquake I baited thanks to Raichu, and then U-turn into Metagross, resistant to ice moves and able to one-shot Mamoswine. The first one was gone. I caught a Houndoom with the ability Flash Fire, in order to have a free switch and take down the enemy. I Volt Switch into Noivern, who kills both Mimikyu and Durant, defeating the first admin. The second trainer was Ariana, opening with a Hatterene. I fake out and Volt Switch into Swampert, killing her first Pokemon. Then Raichu takes down her Honchkrow, and Gengar finished the job. I needed 1 hour and a half for this win, but I was very satisfied with the result. Lance comes in clutch to help me defeat Giovanni. I one-shot Tapu Lele with Mega Gengar and slowly kill Scrufty, Tyranitar and Excadrill together with Dialga, that almost solo kills Celesteela. I decide to use Thunder Wave on Mewtwo, and it turns out it has a second phase like Dark Souls bosses, and Mega evolves. Luckily he is slowed by the paralysis and I manage to kill him and save the world. After this battle Giovanni actually redeems himself. He regrets everything he has done, but still won't end up in jail because this is still Pokemon universe. Justice. Anyway, I went again to the casino and bought a Gible, a Bagon and a Larvitar, heading towards the last gym. Replacing Giovanni, the 8th Johto gym leader Claire was inside waiting for me. It is crucial to kill Aerodactyl first round, before he sets up the Stealth Rock. So I fake out and Volt Switch, baiting the Dracovish substitution with Tyranitar. Salamence manages to take him down. I sacrifice Raichu's life to paralyze her ace, a Mega Duraludon. Gengar comes in to deal some damage, but faints quickly. I Mega Evolve Tyranitar for some extra statistics and kill Dragonite. In the end, Metagross and Swampert together send the remaining Pokemon back to the Poke Center, obtaining the last badge of the game. Before Victory Road, I decided to rematch some of the gym leaders. They were all really easy and didn't give any absurd reward. So I quickly got back to the main story and fought Green. I fake out and Volt Switch as always, bait a Fire-type move with Metagross and kill Darmanitan. Then Raichu basically becomes a living paralyzer and I am able to win with a good Destiny Bond and nice type matchup. It just seemed to never end, but in front of the cave I had to beat Brendan too. I had to give a normal gem to Raichu to boost Fake Out, and kill with another priority move so that he couldn't outspeed me. Then it's time for Noivern. He is immune to Earth power, so it results in a free switch, and almost manages to kill Landorus, who eventually dies to the Life Orb. After killing Jirachi with Rapidash, Brendan's Huntail kills half of my party, leaving me with few Pokémons to work with. As always, Rapidash turns out to be the hero, one-shotting both Zapdos and Sceptile, giving me free access to the Victory Road. Inside it, I found Moltres, who was more than happy to join his fellow birds inside my box. Except for this, I had a quick run through the cave and got access to the Indigo Plateau. We meet the creator of the ROM, ready to wipe our ass before the Pokemon League. Here's how it went. What an amazing team. I had no idea about the Pokemons I would have faced, so I chose a team which covered almost any possible situation. I reset many times, definitely too many maybe, but I never wanted to change team. I wanted these 6 Pokemons to win it all. Glaceon one-shots every one of my Pokemons with Blizzard, so I need to kill him first round with Fake Out plus Fire Blitz. Rapidash kills Ninetales with his speed and I send in Metagross and Gengar. They get to take down some Pokemons but die really quickly. Same goes for Swampert. Fortunately, Noivern and Raichu are able to kill Abomasnow and Rotom, thanks to the hail. On to the next Elite Four. I had really good type matchups for Bruno. Noivern was super effective on Urshifu. Gengar could kill Zacian with Focus Sash plus Destiny Bond. Swampert had an easy kill on Terrakion, same for Metagross on Conkeldurr. Then Rapidash one-shot his Mega Lucario and Noivern could end Scizor life. She sets up Reflect first round, and after Gengar comes in, I can have a free switch on Metagross, immune to Sludge Wave. Thanks to the Mega Evolution I can tank Gengar's Shadow Ball and kill with Zen Headbutt. I have another free switch on Gengar because of Spectreer's hidden power, so now I can one-shot him outspeeding with Choice Scarf. Rapidash almost kills Hydreigon and Swampert cleans up. He is tanky enough to kill Dragapult after he uses Dragon Dance, and Noivern can end the battle. If Agatha was harsh, Lance was atrocious. I am able to take down Garchomp and Dragonite with Rapidash. A fair 2 for 1. Then Dialga comes. Its move takes my Pokemons out of the battle while dealing tons of damage, so I needed many rounds to kill him. I'm lucky enough to roll a crit on Salamence, so I can sacrifice my Gengar for a free switch and kill him with Raichu. Then luck comes in clutch again. Metagross survives with 1 HP and is able to kill Melmetal. After that, it's an easy job for Noivern. Only the champion remaining. I taught Metagross Pursuit to remove Pheromosa's Focus Sash before the switch. I Subin Swampert, who kills Primal Groudon dodging his attack. I sacrificed both Swampert and Metagross so Rapidash could get 2 easy kills on Yveltal and Pheromosa. Raichu the hero gives his life to paralyze Metagross with Static, so that Rapidash can come in again and outspeed the enemy. Next one is Gengar, ready to use Destiny Bond and take away the strongest enemy Pokemon, so that Noivern can take down Ditto and win the Pokemon League. Yay! I know many other people have already beaten this game with way more difficult challenges, but you gotta remember I am just a noob, not different from you who are watching. Also, I might have made some grammatical mistakes in this video, but English is not my first language, so be nice please. I really put my heart into this video, 10 days of non-stop editing and recording, so if you enjoyed it, please consider to subscribe and leave a like, many more videos are coming.